Selling your startup will be a lot of storytelling. What are you doing? Why are you doing it? What is your origin story? Today we're going to talk about how you should craft that story. We're going to do 5 tips on how to build a great origin story. This is Raw Startup. I'm the founder of Vivino, the world's largest wine app and wine community with over 60 million users all over the world. As a founder, I've done a lot of storytelling, but I also have an expert joining us today, Philip Humm, who just released his book, The Storytelling Method.
I'm a business storytelling coach helping salespeople, entrepreneurs, leaders around the world use storytelling in business.
Literally, the first slide in your pitch deck is probably the why, and that requires some origin story to grab their attention.
In the pitch deck, you want to share a story right at the beginning, right? Something that explains why do you do what you do. And it is this one moment where something snapped in your head and you're like, wow, I need to look into this.
Today we're going to look at how you build that story to make it fun and interesting and obviously sell your startup to anyone listening. With that, let's get started. Let's have a look at why the origin story is so important.
Let's say startups, right? When you go and pitch your idea to customers or to investors, you're competing with hundreds of other startups, right? And usually what we do there is like, hey, we say, the TAM is massive, or we are going to disrupt this market, or we are the greatest company on earth. All these things, which are great things to say, right? But think about it. Do you think that the investor or the customer will remember that a day, a week, a month after? Probably not, right? That's because they hear that all the time. So if you really want to stand out, you want to appeal to the emotions, you want to share a story, and that's where your origin story comes in.
Okay, let's hear Philip's origin story before we get on with the list. This better be good.
Well, next day I'm in this call with the COO of this German company, and the call is going really well. I feel like we're connecting. Halfway in, the COO asked, so Philip, what sets you apart? When I hear this, I'm like, bingo, right? I'm gonna share a story now. And I dive right into the story. And at first, it goes well. Like, I see him, he looks interested. But then something odd happens. He starts to look away a little bit, right? It almost feels as if he's embarrassed. When I finish my story, he says, oh, well, thanks for that. Well, we'll be in touch, okay? And he hangs up. What the fuck, right? What just happened in there? Immediately, I call my sister, who has been in sales for like 10 years, and ask her, Shanti, what happened? And she says, Philip, it's obvious, right? Use big storytelling, TED type of storytelling. That is great for, yes, these big keynotes, but not really useful for sales. For sales, you need these shorter, more pragmatic, much more relatable stories. And so the same day, I look through the books that I've bought before, the courses that are out there. And what I notice is that 99% of the stories that are out there, they focus on big storytelling, not really storytelling useful for sales. And then I thought, you know what, I'm going to look into this. Fast forward to today, we've worked with hundreds and hundreds of top organizations like Google, Visa, Oracle, Noom, and many, many more on how to tell stories in business.
Fantastic. Let's get that list started. Tip number 1, focus on specific moments.
On specific moments, your story should be around this one pivotal moment where the founder decided to go for it. It's this one moment where like the jaw dropped and the founder stands there like, man, the hell, right? I got to work on this. Or this is fucked up, right? I need to change that. Or how is there no one doing that, right? This is this one moment of realization where the founder decides, I got to do this. I got to start working with that. That's the entire moment where your story should be around. It shows the true why you do what you do, right? The other person then listens to that and they're like, now I get it why you care so much about your business, right? Now I care really why you're so invested in that.
Most founders do have a story like this with some kind of pivotal moment. And even if it isn't one specific moment, you might want to simplify it to turn it into a specific moment. It just makes the story more engaging. Tip number 2, bring in elements of surprise. Yeah, you got to give a little bit of a shocker to keep the attention on the story.
On surprise, think when you share your story, you're fighting for your listeners' attention. They'll be like, I'm wondering what's up for dinner tonight. Oh, should I go to the supermarket before? Oh, what about that beach holiday? You're fighting for their attention. And so you got to make sure to actually capture their attention. The most effective way to get someone glued to every word you say is by bringing in elements of surprise. Elements of surprise, that's breaking this typical pattern of what is expected. What do your listeners expect? And then you break that pattern. Simple example. If you tell a story about how, let's say your boss fires you. Well, then that could be 2 hours later, my boss walked up to me and said, "You, Heini, you can pack your bags right now," right? That's big. Actually, don't know whether that happened, but but that's a big element of surprise, right? You want to break this pattern of what is expected.
If you lose people's attention, it's hard to get it again. So a little surprise here and there keeps them engaged. I also like to do something a little bit crazy to begin with, a little bit of a shocker to get their attention in the beginning.
To do something shocking, something unexpected right at the beginning. I recently watched a video, I think it was Toastmasters, and that guy went on stage, he started pretending to light a cigarette, right? And that's, everyone's like, what the F is going on here? So yes, you can bring in something like that. Obviously see in the setting. Keynote setting, perfect. Smaller setting, it's a little bit awkward.
Tip number 3, make it emotional.
Emotions is really the most important element of any story. Your primary objective is really to touch someone's heart with that. 95% of the purchasing decisions are being taken on by the subconsciousness. Now, what is the biggest driver for the subconsciousness? Emotions. And so if you want to really change someone's opinion, you got to appeal to the emotions. You got to share something that they care about, right? Where they're like, man, this is affecting them.
You need those emotions to make people care. Good, let's look at a specific technique here.
Let me share one simple technique that you can use to add emotions. My favorite technique is adding the inner dialogue. Inner dialogue, this is the thoughts that are going on in your head. We all have thousands of thoughts every day. A lot of them are anxious thoughts, right? We worry about all these million things. Bring out some of these thoughts to your story. So, for example, that I actually want to show my excitement. I can say, this will be so cool, right? Everyone will love it. They will look at that presentation after that, give me that promotion, right? You see, some of these thoughts I just bring out there. They make it immediately more emotional.
And try to be very direct, not abstract.
So instead of saying words like, I felt really stupid in that moment, which is not bad, right? But you can say, man, I am so stupid. How did I even think, blah, blah, blah. And then you use the direct thoughts, the unfiltered thoughts. Your thoughts, they're not this poetic version, this filtered version, but the raw thoughts that are going on in your mind.
Tip number 4, focus on a relatable challenge. We always think that you'd have to done something huge to tell a great story. That really isn't true. Smaller stories that people can really relate to often work better. We just relate more to these smaller stories.
When I started on my storytelling journey, I always thought like, hey, I need to tell these crazy events, right? How I almost died climbing Mount Everest, how I almost died in this car accident, or how I built this multi-billion-dollar company. To be clear, I didn't do anything of that. But I thought that this is the great storytelling, right? This is what it is about. What I realized is the best stories, they focus actually on a challenge that is relatable. Now, how many people do you know that almost died in an extreme sport? Probably not that many, right? Out of 100, maybe you know a couple, but not that many. It's not relatable. So you want to pick a challenge that is relatable, that your listeners can connect to, and they can see themselves in your shoes.
Tip number 5, cut the fluff.
This is the one thing that I see every single time that I coach someone, or I'd say in 90% of the cases, even more, people take too long to tell their stories. They go into all the great details of what happened and all the specific details that no one needs to care. Well, you have 1 to 3 minutes to tell your story, right? If it's an incredible story and you have the keynote, maybe 5 minutes, right? But usually you have 1 to 3 minutes, which is not that much. So focus on really what matters.
This is something I really try to do. Keep it short and simple. I do not like stories that take forever. So cut off the fluff. Okay, let's have a look at how you do that.
How do you do that? By asking yourself 3 questions. Question number 1, do I need to give that much context? If not, cut some context. Question number 2, can I maybe eliminate one of these side characters? Am I talking about this? I don't know, boss, wife, whatever it is. Do I need that character, right? Eliminate any side characters. And then 3rd, eliminate any non-crucial moments. So think, what are the crucial moments of the stories? And if it's not really crucial moments, get rid of it.
Here are the 5 tips to build a great origin story. There's more from Philip and his storytelling method in the book that's out now, link in the description. If you want more content just like this, please consider pressing like and subscribe, and you won't miss any future videos. Thank you very much for watching Raw Startup. Now stop watching and go build something.